that time again. Good
Oh my God.
morning.
Right. Before we start anything, I need to
Oh,
report a crime.
oh my God. Shall I call legal?
No, it's worse than that. A
Oh God.
LinkedIn company has just posted, we continue to empower operational excellence through innovative end-to-end solutions.
That is brand manslaughter.
There was a stock photo of two people pointing at a laptop like it owed them money. 12 impressions, 1 like from the managing director, Steve, and Dave from sales asking if we should post it. Put a tenner behind it, Steve. Sorry, Dave. Sorry.
That's a whole full crime scene right there.
Oh,
Very beautifully illustrated as well, Mary.
thank you, exactly. And it is Friday morning, mid-June.
It
Q2
is.
is wheezing towards the finish line. Somebody has put Q3 content ideas into a spreadsheet with no
They have.
content ideas in it. And half of the country is one team's call away from putting the fan on full blast and calling it a strategy. We are exhausted.
We are. We are. And so naturally, we're here to help.
That's right. Deep
Welcome.
breaths, everybody. Yes, welcome to Caffeine and Campaigns, the podcast. It's not a podcast, but what is it? Kris, what is it?
Well, what is it this week? This week it's I guess it's a rescue mission for useful businesses that have somehow described themselves like, I don't know, an instruction leaflet in a grey suit. How about that?
Yes, I think so. Today's episode is how to make a boring business interesting to prospects.
Or, as you put it earlier, which still cracks me up to this moment, KB are the people who put the jazz in jazz apples, which is fabulous. However, I'm still not sure whether that's a positioning statement, really, or just a snack-based cry for help.
Definitely a cry for help. Definitely a cry for help.
So for anyone who is new here, a very warm welcome to you. She, the other half of this call, she is Mary Hughes. There we go. She does it every time. So now I've learned to pause after I say that
Thank
part.
you, darling.
She's
Thank
our
you.
she's our integrated program marketing manager at KB. She's part customer translator. She's, I don't know, part meeting nonsense alarm, even though she causes the nonsense half the time. And she's the only person I know who can ask, who the hell is this for? And make an entire campaign feel very, very nervous.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. Oh, he's a very, very harsh. And
Very
he,
harsh.
he is Kris Britton, founder of KB, and the person you call when a perfectly useful business has written 5 paragraphs of website copy and somehow included no reason to care nor any call to action.
Absolutely. And that happens more than it should. So I'm
Truly,
constantly on the prowl for it.
truly, truly does. So let us clear this up early. Most boring businesses are not actually boring, and that's us being quite kind.
Yes, I
They
think so
are
too.
yes, I think that's kind. They are useful. They solve annoying, expensive, stressful problems for people. The issue is that they often explain themselves from inside the business. It's a very internal lens. Apply to external areas only, avoiding any soft tissues, if you understand what I'm saying.
See, this woman here brings marketing to life. You're absolutely right, though, Mary. They do. They start with the product, they start with the process, they start with the platform, the service
Mm.
models, I don't know, the values, the pillars, all of those kind of things. And then the, the supporting pillars underneath and the original pillars, and it's all just getting very, very noisy. It gets very, very messy. It's not a good move.
Exactly. It's the internal language you're talking about. It's just a little bit too connected to the business, by which point the
Mm,
buyer has actually left, made a
yep,
coffee, joined a different
yep.
webinar,
Don't
and
blame them.
emotionally moved on, as we all have by that point.
As we all
So
have. I think even through that description just then, I think half the audience have probably emotionally moved on, and I don't
stay
blame them
with us,
either.
guys. Stay
Stay
with
with us.
us.
So the buyer, I think the important message really is that the buyer isn't thinking, please tell me more about your integrated approach,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's not what buyers actually think. They're thinking, can you fix the bloody problem that's currently making my Tuesday really, really shit?
Exactly. And if we break it down into different areas, different regions, compliance is boring until the fine arrives. Logistics is boring until the stock is in the wrong place or there and not there entirely. Finance software is boring until month end takes 11 days. And manufacturing quality is boring until one tiny component stops a big greasy machine. Procurement is boring until the cheapest supplier becomes the most expensive decision in the room. So that's what we're looking at here.
Absolutely, and that is right there is where the story starts.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's where the story starts.
I agree. And this is just not me having a little Friday wobble because we're reaching Q3. Research, hit it. We've got
Hit
some
it.
research.
Friday's factoid of the day, powered by
Re-
research.
oh. Research from B2B agency Allen found that 82% of business leaders found B2B marketing boring and repetitive. How dare you? It also found 88% of CEOs wanted marketeers to be bolder. That's you, Kris, for us. You've got the lack of hair covered there, darling. God, I love you.
Oh, that
Um,
kind of boulder. Yeah, thank you, Mary. Very kind.
more contrarian or more provocative. They want more of that.
Oh, lovely.
Tell us
Want more
why.
of it, more of it. But an
Mm,
important note there, bolder, and not by my hair type, but being bolder does
mm.
not mean a compliance suddenly has to start, I don't know, behaving like a Chris brand on Twitter and being very out there and being very loud and vocal in that regard.
Yes, exactly. Please no, I don't want a flange manufacturer saying, "Here's my bestie," when they're talking about a big greasy cog.
Yeah.
What am I talking about greasy cogs for today?
I don't know. You're loaded with them. That is where your mind's at. Where's your mind at? It's a bit greasy and dirty, actually, Mary. A bit greasy and dirty.
Bit of a greasy
But
cog,
it,
which is anyway. Let's move on quickly. We're live.
quickly moving
We're live.
on before we yeah, we're moving on. So what does that mean? I think I guess that means sharper relevance. It's more useful points of view. You want clearer commercial stakes, I
I
guess,
think so.
and
Yeah.
better examples. That's a really important point. So more
Mm.
proof and key point, less internal language.
Yes, please less internal language. People don't understand. So it's not wacky for the sake of wacky. What are
Yeah,
we looking at?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the job's to make it's not hey, here's a good analogy. How about this one?
Go
It's
on.
not
Hit
to
me.
make logistics into Love Island, right? How about that
Mm-hmm.
one, Mary? The job is to
Love
make
that.
the value obvious before the buyer loses interest. And someone who gave that analogy right here has never even seen Love Island, but you get my drift. I've heard enough about
Yes.
it in the news.
Yes, although tonight one ballot gets dumped from the villa, might have legs. Boost it, boost it.
Boost it. Sadly, it might actually. Yeah, you might be onto something there, Mary.
Yes, I know. But today, viewers, we've also got a prop because apparently we're now educational as well as entertaining. Kris has bought a book, How to Make a Boring Subject Interesting 52 Ways Even a Nerd Can Be Heard by Jeannie Whitehouse. Tell us, Kris, about your
It's a
book.
very it's a very direct title, isn't it? So a very
Can
interesting
we
book.
say
It
nerds?
literally gives loads and loads and loads of prompts about how to make really boring, dull subjects interesting. And I actually was given this
Mm.
at an accounting by Jeannie Whitehouse herself when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, at an accounting convention. Can imagine the audience there?
I can't actually, no.
No, no.
Yeah, but we love you as well, nerds. We see you, we love you.
We see you, we love you, and we love you accountants, you know.
All those little dragon
Anyway,
toys. Love
moving
those
on.
too.
Really good
Gosh.
book. Highly recommend. One worth a read if you really do have a boring subject and you're trying to make it interesting, or come and talk to us. That's another way to do it.
Absolutely.
Little plug
Come and
there.
talk
Why
to
not?
us. Yes. Why not? Exactly. There's a lesson in that, I feel. So let's have a look at what we're doing today, because make it exciting is how you end up with an animated forklift in a campaign nobody asked for.
Mary's forklift impression. Were you ever in the arts, Mary? Because I
I
think there
was.
could
I've
be a
been in
lot
the
of opportunity
arts.
there.
I've been
Oh,
in
you're in
the
the
arts.
arts.
I'm still in the arts, really, if you look at
I
it
don't
that
think you've
way.
ever mentioned that on the previous 8
Never
episodes or
mentioned
anything
it.
like
No,
that. No, never
exactly.
mentions it. Never mentions it. Not on the daily. Goodness me. Exactly what she said. So interest usually comes from the pain, the
Mm.
urgency, the risk. The cost, that's a really good one because people are always hit hard in the wallet. Also, like relief or proof or decision that the buyer needs to make. That's where the interest is usually stemmed from. Also, actually, thinking about it, emerging trends like our episode next week is purely driven by what
Mm.
people are asking us about next week. But continue watching to find out what that is very shortly.
Yes, continue watching. I'm going to plug that right at the end. Anyway, so let us give the people something practical. We're calling this sort of exercise next to 5-door test, not because it's fancy, because every boring business has at least 5 doors into a better angle. And commercial relevance diagnostic matrix nosebleed sounds like something you print once and you use to stabilize a wobbly desk.
Absolutely. The 5-door test. I mean, we did
Yes.
this during our rehearsal, little secret. We do these in little rehearsals before
Just
we
a
go
little
live.
rehearsal. Little
And
rehearsal.
I had no idea where Mary was going to go with this idea that she came up with this week, but we're going to embrace it. We're going to embrace it. So, Mary, hit us with your 5-door test. Please don't knock at the door, be a Jehovah's Witness, or try and sell us double glazing.
Let's dive right into the 5-door test. Okay, who is behind door number 1? It is pain. What if the buyer ignores this? What
Mm.
hurts if the buyer ignores this? Ooh.
What hurts as buyer ignores pain? Okay, well,
Mm.
so there's the obviously cost, delay, rework, wasted time, customer complaints. You could have maybe even like fines merged into there. If nothing hurts, there is no urgency. I think that's
Mhm,
like a really
mhm.
key point here. If
Definitely.
something hurts, that's where you should start.
Exactly. What is hurting your customers? Start there. Door number
Mm.
2, who is behind door
Or
number
number
2?
two.
It's the person who actually feels the pain. Who is that, Kris?
Okay, so it's not the business, and I
Mm.
want to remove anyone's idea or notion that a business feels pain. A business is an
An anemone.
object, an inanimate object. There we go. Put
Yes.
my teeth in. It's a little bit early. It's a little bit late. Yeah, it's 10 past 10, and I'm already struggling to speak. So
It's Friday.
it's not the business. So you need to name the role and be
Mm.
really. This is a massive, massive, massive important point I'm about to make. So name the role. Is it a finance manager? Is it an operations lead? Is it the founder? Is it the compliance officer, the sales director, whoever that might be, warehouse manager, anyone? But content gets sharper when it's written for someone specific.
Yes,
If
yes,
your target audience is organizations, and I think you'll agree with me here, Mary,
I do.
that is not an audience. That is a waiting room right there.
It's too broad. It's too broad. You need
Too
to
broad.
narrow it in.
Narrow it in.
Okay. We're moving swiftly on into door number 3. Ding dong.
Ding
Door number
dong.
3. Who is behind that? It's pressure. What is making it urgent? What's making that pain so
Mm.
urgent? Uh,
Okay, so you need to consider here some external factors. So you've got things like audits,
Ooh.
renewals. That's a really key one. So if you've got a renewal
Yes.
coming up, therefore it becomes time sensitive. There's a board meeting. There could be like a budget review, a product launch. Mary, you know all about product launches coming from a product background.
Kinda.
Yeah, and you love it.
Sort of.
Peak peak season. So you have your fluctuating times of year. You've got your peak season coming through. Your opportunity to capitalize on sales and
Your
deals.
Christmas, your Valentine's Day, your Halloween if we're retail.
Exactly, all of the above. All of the
Mhm.
above.
Mm.
So the moment turns a dull subject into a real business problem. So you need to find out what those pressure moments are.
Yes, great summary there. And we're already at door number 4. Can you believe it?
Door
Who's
four.
behind
Door
door number
number
4
four.
is decision. Who are
Ding
they
dong.
trying to choose? Who's making that decision?
So yeah, you need to give people options of what choice they need to make. So is it like a right fix now or later? Which
Mm,
supplier should they choose? All of these times when someone's at a point where they're having to make a decision, that's where you can inject and say, okay, this is an opportunity for me to be able to introduce our products and services. So
yeah,
is it like a fix now, pay later? Which supplier? How much should they be spending? What risk to accept? Good content. Good content ultimately helps someone decide, not just admire your brochure from a safe distance. That is ultimately what helps make that boring subject really, really interesting.
yeah. Interrupt them while they're making a decision and make sure that they know that you know what you're talking about, and you're going to help them make decisions for you. So, yes.
Absolutely. Door number
Swiftly on to
five.
door
Thank
number
God there's only
5.
five.
Ding dong. Thank God we're near the end. It's been a very long week, guys. Very long. Proof. What is making your taglines, your ads, your interruptions, what is making that believable? Proof.
Mm,
What have you got?
okay. So, things like numbers, examples, case studies, even just screenshots, you'll be surprised because I mean, I don't go on to when I'm pitching to a client or I'm pitching
Mm.
to a prospect, having a conversation. I don't go on with a preloaded script. Maybe I'm giving away my secret sauce too much here, but we will literally do, and we don't have a slide deck, we don't have a script. we do a live demo based on what their needs are. So as
Mm,
someone's bringing up things like, oh, this is our competitor, this is it, I'm like, right, here's an example of when we've done that. Here's an example of when we've done this. And actually addressing their problems live there and then. So
mm,
things like process photos before and after, all of that is what helps build trust and helps the prospect believe, okay, I'm actually in a safe space here. Because specific ultimately is beating what is shiny, and
mm.
proof is turning a claim into something a buyer can repeat then internally.
Exactly, and they've got to have bang for their buck, you know. We've got to be doing what we're saying. So then, Chris, just to summarise all of those doors we've just entered, pain, person, pressure, decision, proof, 5 doors, already more useful than we deliver
Mhm.
bespoke end-to-end solutions. Thank God.
By about 8 podcasts deep. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't want to be doing that, don't you? Most things are one of those 5 categories, and that is what's gonna help you start to build on a topic that is quite dry
Yeah.
and non-exciting.
Yes, and let us test it. Warehouse
Yes.
management software.
Okay, warehouse management software. So the dull
Oof.
version would be, you put me on
Go
the
on,
spot
give it
here.
to us.
Our
Give it to
platform,
us.
our platform streamlines inventory workflows through integrated operational visibility. Dry.
God, my soul has just gone onto aeroplane mode. Beep.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, well, let's move on to the better version then. So, might want to go with the angle of like why your warehouse keeps losing stock that technically exists,
Yeah.
or the picking error that your sales team hears about before operations do, or I don't know, five five signs your warehouse processes annoying sales, finance, and customers all at the same time. People like a checklist, something they can go through, something that they can relate to, even, which is really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, now we're in a real Monday morning as well. Sales are
Reality.
waving a customer email, finance are asking why margin is weird, and Dave in the warehouse, wasn't Dave in
He's back,
finance earlier
Dave.
on?
Yeah, Dave was in finance. He moves about a bit. He moves about. He's got a
Master
checkered
of all
career.
trades. Dave in the warehouse is pointing at an empty shelf like the barcode has personally betrayed him. Sorry about that, Dave.
Oh, RIP to the barcode. And the buyer then understands why it matters.
Yeah, yeah. Let's give him a compliance example as well. What's the dull version here, Chris?
Compliance. That's not going to be hard, is it? We provide compliance support for regulated organizations.
Very
How many
dry.
websites have you been on where you've seen that?
Very
Literally, I'm
dry.
just thinking, like, what have I seen in the past?
Yes, I'm becoming very weary by you just expressing that, Chris.
Very weirdy, very, very weirdy. Okay,
Tell us the
let's do a
better
better
version.
version then.
Do
Let's
it.
bring you back to life.
Come on.
Something like, so the output, what's the positive that comes off of it? So something like passing the audit is not the same as being safe. The
Mm,
needs payoff is the safe
mm.
part, right?
Yeah,
So passing the audit doesn't always mean that you're even safe. It's a bit like a food hygiene standards. Just
yeah,
because you're at level 5 still doesn't mean you can't practice unsafe food hygiene standards. So,
exactly.
or what about uh what an auditor asks for when nobody can find the document. People want to know
Yeah,
real life stories. When an auditor comes in, what are those questions that they are actually asking? And are they questions that people should be expected to be able to answer?
yeah, absolutely. Good examples. Let's move on then. So now someone is searching SharePoint with the confidence of a Victorian ghost hunter, state,
Looking for that
panic,
document. Look,
relevance. Exactly, those 4
exactly.
people. Oh gosh, right. Let's go on to a typically boring subject here as well. Finance software. What's the dull
Finance
version here,
software.
Chris?
Oh God, we see lots of this. So, we enable scalable finance transformation. How about that? That's quite dry.
I feel like I've seen that sentence on a lanyard somewhere, perhaps at a trade show.
There's a trade show somewhere. So the better version for that would be
Bring
so
it to
again,
life
let's go
for
with
us,
the needs
Chris.
pay. Let's go for the needs payoff. So why month end still takes 11 days when everyone knows the spreadsheet is the problem. So you're bringing
Oh,
it back to the Excel being that pain point, and
absolutely.
helping people move away from that
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, boring subjects become interesting when you connect them to the moment someone has to explain themselves in a meeting. And we've all been there sweating cobs while the sales director asks you passive aggressive questions. I think they prepare them, don't you? I think they just spend their time preparing these to just throw you off.
Yeah,
Ugh,
they have a little bank of them, I think. I think
I
that's what it
think
is.
so.
And that is key. That is key. You're not selling the feature. You're selling the reduction of the problem the buyer already recognizes. And I refer to that as the needs payoff. What is the problem that's been
Mm,
identified that you are there to alleviate?
yes. And I think the data also backs this up. We are ready for another Friday factoid. Chris, hit it.
Oh, oh, hang on. Oh God, this is
Do
bad.
it.
Do it. You're on the spot.
Go,
Friday
go.
factoid time. Friday factoid time. It's Friday factoid time. Hit it, Mary. That was awful, but we'll go with it.
Friday. Oh gosh.
Friday. What's that song? Wasn't there about days of the week? Anyway, carrying on.
Content Marketing's Institute of 2026 B2B research found out that effective teams most often credit content relevance and quality for improved performance at 65% there. So, customer understanding and segmentation was also a major factor at 40%. Some high numbers there, Chris.
Yeah, they're not fluffy numbers either.
No.
Those are not fluffy creative stats. They're very commercially driven stats. So better relevance there is means better decisions, better sales conversions, and ultimately, I think less wasted content. Put my teeth in, blimey.
Well,
People
I've
would have warmed up by
so
now. Yeah.
so maybe then the answer is not post more. Maybe the answer is stop posting things that nobody would say in a meeting without apologizing or being very embarrassed post meeting.
Absolutely. So yeah, very often. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you. And this matters as well before sales even gets a look in because Sixth Sense, yes, is another factoid, found out that 94% of buying groups ranked their preferred vendors before they first contacted sellers. And they ultimately bought from that preliminary favorite 77% of the time. So,
For those of you eagle-eyed just then, I was literally I could see the factoid and I could see what Mary was about to read, and I was going because I
preliminary.
knew she was going to stumble on that one there. I knew it.
Oh, God. It's
I
the
love this
dyslexia.
fact. This fact is really, really interesting. Sixth Sense have done a great job on that.
Yeah.
The fact that 70% have already
77, darling.
chosen 77%, all the sevens, have
Mm.
already chosen their favorite. It is just that says a lot. And ultimately it means that your dull explanation can lose the deal
Mm.
before the sales team even knows that there was a deal.
Savage. Savage, like being
Well, you've
dumped
got
by
to be
someone you
honest.
never met. Because your homepage is the one saying future ready solutions too many times. They may be future
Future ready
ready, but we
solutions
don't
and
care.
digital landscapes. That is what people tend to go to, isn't it? But that is the reality. And we've
Yeah,
got to be honest on these podcasts. That is the reality of what we see. And we're not slamming our customers with what they come to us, but it's great when we can actually spin it round and they're like, Christ, we're getting inquiries in. It's like, yeah, actually changing the language and changing the way you position yourself is a huge part of that story.
value statements,
Prospects.
Chris. Mm.
Exactly. And the prospects are checking your website. You can see that. You've got the stats of what traffic is pouring in. They're checking your LinkedIn, they're checking your case studies, they check the
Mm.
people, they look at who works in a business before they reach out. We see that through people's user journeys before they make an inquiry. They check the reviews, they're checking the events, the posts, the videos, anything else that they can find. They are checking it. People love a bit of digital dirt. So
Oof.
if everything is vague, everything's generic, or you're maybe allergic to proof, you're making it harder for people to choose you.
Yes, and this is where business owners sometimes get frustrated. They say we do good work. Why is nobody responding? And the horrible answer is because the work is good, but the work is also hidden behind language only the internal team is impressed by and also understands. So you've got to open that up, please.
Yeah, you're so right, because expertise is not enough if the
Mm-mm.
buyer cannot see it, or if they can see it, they can't understand it, therefore they can't trust it because they have no idea
Yes.
what you're on about. Just
Yeah.
because you understand the language doesn't mean the buyer doesn't. Even if the buyer is immersed into your sphere, your world that's very niche, there are so many
Mm,
acronyms that are thrown around that people still do not understand or get, or embarrassingly, they don't want to admit that they don't understand.
yeah,
There is a
basically,
bit of a
if
pride thing there.
I think so. If it's impressing internally, it's not going to impress externally. So keep it to your PowerPoints, people. But this is why I like proper thought leadership, though. Even though that phrase makes me want to have a lie down, I think it's truly important. You've got to open up that business and let people into the human side of what you're doing, and use accessible language that people can actually connect to, rather than your
Yeah,
digital landscapes that's very vague.
yeah, you're right, because thought leadership, when done properly,
Mm.
proper thought leadership, it shows how you think. It shows how you think as a person. It shows how you are as a person, and it also makes you more approachable as a whole.
Yes, it's not here are our values in a very serious font, actual useful thinking. LinkedIn and Edelman found that 95% of hidden decision makers say strong thought leadership makes them more open to sales and marketing outreach. So don't hide in the weeds.
Don't hide in the weeds, because it gives buyers a way to, I don't know, judge your expertise before they speak to you, and you don't want to be in the weeds from that point of view.
Exactly. It lets them think, oh, they understand the messy bit, not just they've got a nice
Mm.
gradient and a very nice sentence about digital transformation.
Oh, be careful though, because Chris Oliver, our creative director, loves a bloody gradient. He loves a
Oof.
gradient.
Well, who doesn't
It,
love a gradient, darling?
it
But do the
helps tell a
customers care?
story.
Do they care? They do
Oh
probably care.
dear. Absolutely, absolutely. So, and there is a stat around this. I'm trying to remember what it is, because you're the one who comes loaded with factoids,
Do
Mary,
you
and
want
I'm
me to
trying to
prep
remember what
you
the
with a
stat is.
jingle?
No,
It's
because
my turn to do a jingle.
I can't remember who quoted it, but I do. There was, I think the index was like, it was like a superpowers index or something like that,
Go for it.
and the index was basically saying that brands with excellent buyer experiences, or like that give a really good experience when someone's inquiring, a prospect's turning from a prospect into a buyer, they're
Mm,
closing deals. I think it was about 31%, something like that, 31% faster, which is just absolutely
mm.
wild that it is. That's significant, because we all talk about long sales cycles, but anything you can do to speed that up, and if part of that is the whole content mix, how you're positioning yourself, that what people understand, making sure you're presenting the trust signals at the right point,
Mm.
it changes that whole story.
It does. And yeah, 31% is nothing to be sniffed at. That sounds
Mm.
excellent. So, what we're saying is making a boring business interesting is not just about attention. It's about making the buying decision easier and clearer for people to grasp, so they know how you can actually insert themselves into their business and make their lives a lot easier.
Yeah, because yet to that point, then interesting content. What is it doing? It's it's reducing uncertainty.
Mm.
It's giving the buyer language, context, I guess, proof and confidence, all in one. That's
Yeah.
ultimately what you've offered.
Yeah, the sentence has got to travel. It's got to touch the hearts of many, not
Yeah,
just very specifically attempting to solve something very broad. And that is the test, really. If someone reads your content and still can't explain to their boss why it matters, the content has failed. Unfortunately, it might look nice. You might have worked for hours on the strapline. It might have a lovely icon set, but commercially, people have wandered off already because they don't really know what you're doing.
absolutely. So start where the buyer starts caring. I think that's a really good place to start.
Exactly. Don't be too vague, my darlings. Okay,
Mm.
time for a quick fire round. Can you believe it's time for that
Ready? Ready for the quick
already?
fire? Go on, Mary, hit me with it.
Is any business genuinely too boring for content?
No, but plenty are explained, like, I don't know, someone sedated the homepage or something like that.
Oh,
It's, yeah, not
yes.
nice.
No. Bring it back to life, my people. Should boring sectors try to be funny?
N- Um, I went to say no then, but actually I'm going to say only when it helps. So
Mm.
clarity first, then bring in your personality second, spray your proof everywhere.
Oof. Great. Love that. What's the fastest way people can find a better angle for their boring business?
Mm, speak to sales, and if you are sales, have a little quiet word with yourself. But look at what prospects are commonly misunderstanding.
Mm.
Ask support what customers are repeating all the time. Ask. Ask delivery what goes wrong when buyers are choosing badly.
Very nice, very nice. And can a company page make a boring business interesting? Can it happen?
Yes, but it needs to stop. By saying you, like, I'm speaking very directly to the heart of the listener there. It needs to stop posting dead-eyed updates and start sharing proof, share your people, the expertise
Mm,
of your people, the examples, share the opinions, all of the above.
yes, and a hot topic I feel for everybody at the moment. Should we be using AI to make boring content less boring?
No, use it to organize, use it to structure the draft. Don't use it to invent your personality from, I don't know, 6 bullet points or whatever, and a dream that you've got. Use AI to help you form that structure and that framework, and
Yeah,
that's where you need to start.
couldn't agree more. And what about phrases to ban in this experience? Go on. I
Um,
feel like we've already touched
my
upon them,
top
quite
one
frankly.
we have. Well, I'm gonna give you one more that I don't think we've mentioned. End-to-end solutions. Unless you can explain literally from one end to the other in a sentence, do not say end-to-end solutions, please.
Yeah, it's not impressing anyone anymore, okay?
No.
Okay, keep it on the PowerPoint. Use it if you need to in meetings. We know it's terrible, but yeah, your customers don't care unless you can really clearly outline that for them. Anyway, should
Elaborate.
the website answer awkward questions for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So price, that's a common one. People love hiding the price. Jesus, I don't know why, but people
Yes.
love hiding the price.
Mm,
Process, that's a good one to talk about. Timeline, that's a good one to talk about. So you can like meet people's expectations, risks that they should be thinking about, how you could fit in with their business or their product fits in with their business and their way of
mm.
operating. Sometimes even alternatives, so alternative solutions, because it helps people realize how you stack up against the comparison. So if buyers ask it, hiding it just makes it harder for you to trust as a business.
Oof, couldn't agree more. So, our final verdict, then, or your final verdict for this subject, Chris, how do you make a boring business interesting to prospects?
So to summarize that then, stop trying to make it artificially exciting and
Mm.
start making it more commercially relevant to them. And I know you're probably thinking, well, I already do that. Trust me, if you think you do it, there's a better way to probably be doing it. Unless you've had a team of people with a lot of eyes on it, looking at it. I know this is now turning into not a quick fire answer, but this is a really important point. Unless you've had a lot of people working on it and crafting it, and you've had no external influence, it's probably not commercially relevant. So you need to find the pain, the person, the pressure, the decision, and the proof point, and use real language, show examples, explain what changes if the buyer acts and what happens if they do not act.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. You're not trying to impress the internal board members. You are now trying to impress your clients by bringing them on board to your business using language that is going to explain why they need to use your business. So the answer really then is not sequins on a spreadsheet, Chris, is
No,
it?
no, no, absolutely not. Priscilla, Queen of
It's
the
not.
Desert, you can step down for this one.
It's not making procurement wear a feather boa.
No, definitely not. Karen, take it off. Take it
Take it
off,
off, Karen.
Karen. You don't need
Jesus,
the feather
Karen,
boa
take it off.
today. You're okay.
And it's not a forklift turning into an influencer. Here's my forklift
I'm
impression.
I'm waiting for the day that a forklift does become like a viral. Someone's probably going to send me the link
It's,
after this, but
it's
there's like
probably
a
there
forklift
already.
that becomes a
Put it in the
viral
comments for us,
sensation.
please.
Put it in the
Somebody
yeah,
find
put it in the
something.
comments. Absolutely, absolutely. No, please do not. Jesus, no,
Oh,
don't.
do,
I
do,
think
do.
I'd just cry if that happens.
But it is taking something practical, useful, and important, then explaining it from the buyer's point of view. Your business is probably not that boring. The buyer's problem is definitely not boring to them. So start there.
Absolutely perfect. Perfect. Absolutely.
Yes. And before we go, next Friday, the 26th of June at 10 a.m., we are back with how to get found in ChatGPT, Gemini, Google AI search.
Yeah, we are asked so much about this. I am asked
Mm,
all the time about this. So that one is all about literally AI search visibility, the evolution of SEO and
Oof.
how you do get found, because some people think that they need to be doing something completely different. So we're going to tap into all of that, and whether businesses now need to be understood not only by humans and search engines, but they've got this whole AI bot that they're panicking about, and they're going, well, it's not going away. What do we need to do to get found on there? How do I get cited? So all of that is coming up next Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's evolving. It's evolving, people. So
It
it's not
is.
just can Google find us more. It's now these days, does ChatGPT know we exist? Does Gemmy understand us? And has Google AI search accidentally described us as a beige sweater?
It's beige sweater. We love the color beige, not. Pretty
Not
much. That's a really good actually summary. That's pretty much what we're going to be discussing, and we're going to break
yes.
down those three key platforms. There are obviously loads more platforms out there, but we're just going to tackle the key big players.
Yes, exactly. So if your current AI visibility plan is we rank for a few things and hope the robots are polite, join us next week.
Absolutely. And we've also got a separate event, and this is the second to last time of plugging it. So I will plug it again one time next week,
Do
Tuesday, the
it.
30th of June at from 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. It's going to be again a little bit more AI focused, but this is quite a bit more technical. So it's called What AI Needs Before It Can Be Relevant. So this is about
Yes.
not only how to use AI, but how to get it to function in a way that you need to get even more value from it than you thought you could get.
Yes, and this one is more of a straight-laced cousin of Caffeine and Campaigns. Same
Yes.
family, better choose. Fewer jokes about Dave from sales, I hope.
Dave! It's Dave moved to sales now,
Dave,
Mary. You moving
Dave
him
is he's in the
around.
warehouse, he's in sales,
He's
he'll
in
be in paid
finance, he's in
marketing next
sales,
week.
he's getting about. He's getting about.
Ah,
So it's really ultimately that episode. If you're interested, we're going to pop a QR code up in just a second. It's for people who want AI to be useful, relevant, and commercially grounded, not just faster at producing generic work.
yes, exactly. So scan the QR code to
It's on
register
here.
for that one. Right,
Yep.
we are going to leave it there before somebody asks us to make an invoice reconciliation white paper go viral. We're
There's an
not
angle.
magicians,
There's an
people.
angle. Let's make it.
Yes.
There probably will be an angle somewhere to make that go viral, but there we go.
Probably. But that sentence is why you're allowed near strategy. I'm allowed near the emergency brake and whiskey cabinet. Although I don't like, make it a gin for me or a prosecco, something
Yeah,
lighter.
yeah. Went for something like not so heavy. Fair,
It's a
fair.
few
Thank
bubbles.
you.
Anyway, he is Kris.
And she is Mary.
And this has been Caffeine and Campaigns, the campus podcast out there, you might say.
Absolutely. The podcast is not a podcast, but what is it? What has it been this week, Mary?
I don't know. Apparently, Jazz Apples, sedated
Jazz
homepages,
apples.
and 5-door intervention program for useful businesses that have been explained badly. We see you. We love you. Come and get some help from us.
Absolutely. Same time next Friday.
Yes, bring coffee, bring questions, bring one boring sentence from your website. I will try not to pull a face before 20 past 10.
We'll give it our best shot. Thank you very much. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.